everyone, and welcome back to another Pick a Card reading. Today's topic is going to be on what karma are you here to clear? So I went ahead and I picked this topic randomly. So it seems like we're still on the topic of karma, since that was also like the last reading, what it was about. So we have karma you are here to clear. So let's look into it. I'm excited. This is obviously like a very deep and important question to ask. My intentions are for this reading to shed light, to bring clarity, to give us something directly from the divine that is going to help guide us on our journey. So as you can see, these are the pile selections. We're working with feathers today. I do have a blue jay feather that I couldn't find, so I opted for this keychain one. It's just going to have to do today. I think it's super cute though, so it's matching the theme. That's all that matters. So this white feather over here is going to be for group number 1. Our keychain feather will be for group number 2, and this owl feather will be for group number 3. So as always, take this time to close your eyes, gather your energy, center yourself, take deep breaths in and out, so that you can open yourself up to receive the messages here today, and also so that you can get attracted to the pile that is going to have the most accurate messages for you. If you are attracted to more than one feather, I would say that's totally okay. Go with whatever you're feeling, with whatever feels right. I will give you guys a few moments to make your selection. If you need more time, feel free to pause the video. I'm going to go ahead and move on to group number 1. So we'll take these and put them all to the side here. Okay. If you chose this white feather here, you are at the right place. We are going to be looking into the topic, what karma are you here to clear? I'm super excited to get into this. We will be using astrology cards, oracle cards, and tarot to get the messages today. So let's see. I already got these 2 cards out for you. Let's make room here. Okay, so what karma are you here to clear? This definitely has to do with your spirituality, your beliefs, your religion, the things that you learn. I feel like the karma you're here to clear is being more outside of the box, like getting outside of the box as it pertains to your beliefs. And, you know, just like the beliefs that you sit down and give the time of day to, that you listen to, that you gain some type of interest in, that you want to look further into it, you want to study it, you want to know about it, you want to learn about it more, you know, you want to research it and get a lot of different perspectives on. I feel like, I don't know, maybe you're someone that you're really set on whatever it is that shapes your life, that gives your life structure, like the core beliefs you live by, your spiritual beliefs, your religious beliefs, your philosophies, like those things. I feel like maybe those things are very cemented and you're very like dead set on a certain way, like this is the way life is, this is the way it works. Like maybe you're someone that you don't feel a need to like look into anyone else's experience or perspective, look into anybody else's like religion, spiritual beliefs. You know, you are really being encouraged and you are really being asked to give it the time of day, you know, like to allow yourself to get curious, to look into it, to even partake in certain cultural traditions, or learn about the history, the myths, the stories, the food. It could even be, just like someone's culture or a different culture. Spirit wants you to learn about the world, to open up to, they're just saying like there's so much out there, there's so much out there for you to get exposed to, for you to know about, for you to learn about. I just feel like when you open yourself up to learning like other cultures or other religions or like traditions, beliefs, gods, stories, myths, like all of these things, when you really open yourself up to learn things that you weren't raised, learning about, life is really going to open up for you. I think you might find something that you resonate with more than you do right now. Like whatever it is that you might be dead set on, like maybe it doesn't work for you, and maybe like it is keeping you stuck in some way. I feel like you need to learn from others. Like you need to learn from your friends, the people around you, your community. Like there's so much to learn from these people. Like just listen to them, just talk to them, just have conversations and hear them out, hear what their perspectives are, their experiences. I just feel like your life is going to come alive. You are going to piece something together. Like something is really going to click into place if you just become more open to like other people's side, to their beliefs. And why are those their beliefs? Again, it doesn't necessarily have to be those things, but it's just anything that's foreign to you, anything, language, cultures, traditions. You get the picture. At this point, I feel like I've made myself clear about what this could be pointing towards. But yeah, like they just want you to open up, to hear other people out. Like maybe you're going to find another tradition or something, or another culture that like makes sense to you. Oh my goodness, look at the cards that fell out. We have the Lovers. Oh, and this is Gemini, and the 9th house represents Sagittarius, so that's an axis right there. And then we have Justice and the Hierophant. 3 major arcanas. This is big, you guys. Well, we kind of knew that already, right? So this is the karma you need to clear. You need to like be more open to other people's experiences, to like why they believe what they believe, to just hear them, learn, partake in other people's cultures. It's going to bring so much color to your life, so much fun, so much adventure. I feel like something is waiting to come bursting in your life, and this is the avenue that it wants to come through. Is through like something that's foreign to you, through something that you don't know a lot about, but you're going to learn through other people, like your community, people around you, their experiences. It's going to really open up your eyes. It's kind of like learning about astrology, for example, and really seeing what that's about, like seeing like why do people believe in this? Where do the stories come from? How does it all connect? What does everything mean? And why is this sacred to some people? What are people connecting to? What magic are people connecting to? What aligns people to this? And it doesn't have to be astrology, although it could definitely be that. There's indication that that could be a possibility. But again, it's just something that it's kind of like, instead of shutting it down, instead of not giving it the time of day, instead of being so dead set on whatever your beliefs are, your philosophies, where you stand, it's just opening up to other perspectives, to other possibilities, to other teachings. It's going to give you something so unexpected, but so necessary. It's going to like jumpstart your life. I feel like it's going to really bring color into your life. It's going to help you make sense of things. It's going to help you understand people better. And it's going to give you like purpose and meaning, and just give you this newfound appreciation for how everyone relates to the world. And it's probably going to help you also find things that resonate more with you. It's going to align you to what's meant for you. And I'm telling you, it's so unexpected. Like you would have never thought that this would have been what you would be aligned to, that this would be something you'd be attracted to. I feel like maybe it starts off as very casual conversation and then it just gets so interesting, and then like you just want to know more and more and more because it's starting to resonate with you. It's starting to ring true and you're like, like maybe these people are onto something. And it's just going to allow you to just open up your mind, open up your perspective to tolerate, be more tolerant of like other people's experiences and beliefs. It's definitely going to make you more cooperative. And I am seeing like big teacher energy here. So eventually, like once you are able to do this, you're going to get to the point where you are then going to speak about something, teach something. You're really going to find something that you find so sacred, something that's so close to your heart, something that you feel so connected to, so connected with. And it's going to be something foreign, something that, like it's not like your birth religion or like your birth traditions or culture. It's like you're opening up to something different, to something new, to something foreign, and that is going to resonate more with your soul than whatever it was that you were born into. And it's going to bring color and meaning and purpose into your life. You're going to feel aligned to something greater. I feel like you're finally going to feel like at home with something. Like things are going to click into place. Things are going to start making sense. Like, oh my gosh, and it wasn't until you found this philosophy or this, whatever this is, this culture, this tradition, it wasn't until you found this that helped you click things into place. For me personally, this is like Eastern teachings, so I was born and raised here in the United States of America. So here in the Western world, we are programmed a certain way. And there is like a certain culture and there are certain traditions and stuff like that. And while it played its role, like it helped me to, learn why structures are put in place and why they're important, at a certain point it became limiting. So it wasn't until like I really started diving into the more Eastern teachings and traditions and beliefs and philosophies, religions, that things really started making sense for me, that things really started clicking into place for me. Like it just resonated more with me. The Eastern way, the Eastern perspective, the Eastern approach, like it talked to me. I felt connected to it and it aligned me to something greater, to something higher. And it definitely did bring balance, So studying certain things, like I'm a big fan of the Tao and of course of Vedic traditions, astrology, learning about the Hindu gods and goddesses, Buddhism. These things are like what aligned me to my highest and best path. And I feel like this is what you're going to experience yourself. Something along these lines. It's just going to resonate with you and it's going to align you to your highest and best path. And you're going to learn so much about it. I feel like you're going to have a mentor. It's possible that you have like a mentor or many mentors, or you become a mentor. You become someone that teaches, someone that talks about it, that communicates these things. And I feel like it's going to make your relationships better. Like I'm seeing a focus more so like on friendships, on community. Like you're going to find this through this path, by going through this pathway. You're going to find the right people that are going to notice you, that are going to acknowledge you and praise you and appreciate you. It's going to open you up to life, to people. I feel like you're always going to have good communication, like you're always going to have something to talk about, no matter, who you're with. Maybe it's also like giving you insight into your relationships. Like the insight that you're receiving, you can apply it towards relationships with other people. And it's just really going to elevate that space. So let's see. Let's pull a few more cards. And I also want to pull another. Wow, there's like 2 other decks I want to use. So I was just getting so many messages just by those cards that were there. Let me see what else comes out. you're really going to find your confidence. You're really going to find your way in the world, like your place in the world, and how it is that you want to show up, and what it is that you want to do, and what it is that you want to talk about. Yeah, you're really going to find, you're going to become passionate about something, for sure. I'm even thinking like if it's cooking, like, you know, if you get really familiar with a certain like cuisine and you learn how to cook it and you learn, you know, what spices they use and the herbs, and like, you know, like you can become a teacher, or even like a yoga teacher, like learning about the yogic philosophies and spreading it, like becoming a yoga teacher and spreading those teachings that come along, you know, with learning that. Okay, so we have share your gift and patience. Oh my goodness. See, I'm telling you guys, you're going to be aligned to your purpose, to your truth, to something that is going to be, you're going to feel so deeply connected to. It's going to resonate with you on such a deep level. And you just have to become open to it. I feel like it's going to come out of nowhere, and you might like not even, you know, like it's just going to be super unexpected. Like if someone invites you over, like, hey, we're having a satsang tonight. Do you want to join us? You know, if like you meet a group that comes together and they do like spiritual activities, like they chant, they meditate, maybe they listen to a guru speak or something like that. Like if you're ever invited to something like that, you know, or maybe they even do puja, like it's kind of like a ceremony. If you're invited to something different that you're not used to doing, I would say go, like say yes, because that is the karma you're here to clear, is like to be open to these things, to invite these things in, to look at new perspectives, because literally it's going to open so many doors for you. It's like the key for you to find something that is deeply connected with you and that is a part of like your mission, your purpose. You need to learn this, you need to speak about this. It's going to start small, and then you're just going to keep learning more and more and more. And at first you're going to really try to dissect it, and like you're going to be really focused on the details, but eventually it's all going to come together, and you're going to be able to see how it's all connected, and you're going to be able to see the bigger picture. And I feel like you're going to be able to talk about it. And something that you do, even if it's not for work, even if it's like a hobby or something, it could be for work, or it could just be like something you do on the side, something as a hobby. It's going to align with something that you learn that's foreign, that's like different, that doesn't, it didn't belong to like what you were used to or how you were raised. And maybe it's not going to make total sense at first, like all right away. This is going to be like a process that unfolds for you in time, but it's really going to like open some gift, align you to some gift that then you can offer people. And you're going to be good at it, because I feel like you're going to be so confident. You're going to feel so confident, and it's going to come so naturally. Like you're going to get really, really comfortable with it. I feel like at first it might just like come out of nowhere, be super different, super out there. You're going to be like, whoa, this is so different, you know, than how I live and what I was raised, how I was raised and what I was taught. Like this is kind of crazy. But as you get used to it, it's really, really going to open up your life, and it's going to align you to some gift, something that you can offer people. And it's also going to, I don't know, like you're going to see that maybe you were judging people wrongfully. Like maybe like there's certain like groups of people that you thought like were crazy or were stupid, or like you didn't understand them, you didn't get it. And like you're going to be able to, after you go through an experience like this, eventually you're going to be able to understand these people. You're going to be able to free yourself from your own limitations by opening up to like other people's cultures and traditions and all of that. It's like you're going to look at it differently. You're going to have more respect for it. You're going to see it in a deeper way, because like you gave it the time of day. You gave it a chance. Maybe this is like a religion. I'm seeing like it could definitely be a religion here. But yeah, I just feel like it's going to help you see that like the oneness in all of the religions. You know what I mean? It's not about like which religion is better and which one is right. And it's like you're going to be able to see the oneness of all religions, and like that ultimately like all religions kind of have the same aims. They just get there a little differently. They have different stories maybe. But I feel like you're just going to understand people and where they're coming from. And you're just going to be more tolerant, more open to other people and their experiences. And it's going to be beyond right and wrong. It's not even going to be about like right and wrong. I feel like at first you are going to want to try to like look at all of the details and pick things apart and, you know what I mean, try to make sense out of it. But then eventually it's just going to like come down on you and you're just going to be like, oh my gosh, like you're going to see the bigger picture. You're going to see the oneness. You're going to see the unity, the connection, and it's all going to make sense. And then all of a sudden people are just going to make more sense to you. And I feel like it's going to make you more compassionate and just more open. And you're going, like, I feel like you need to speak. There's something that it's going to open up some gift, and it's going to put you in some kind of a leadership position, this gift. And you're meant to share it. Yeah, definitely. You're meant to speak. You're meant to communicate something different that's going to really like align you with like your freak flag, you know? Align you with a part of yourself that maybe you never thought like existed inside of you, but it's like you're going to introduce and you're going to bring to the forefront through this avenue of just opening yourself up to other people's beliefs. This is beautiful. I love this energy so much. Okay, let's pull one more from this deck. Here. Sensual Awakening, number 64. Oh my gosh, and Intimacy, number 35. I was getting more like community, friendships, all of this stuff. But yeah, intimacy, it could still be, yeah, like I don't think this is like romantic, like one-on-one. I feel like intimacy, it's creating intimacy with people, like healthy intimacy when you can just like accept other people's perspectives and point of views and experiences and be open to that. And, you know, everyone can just kind of like create space for other people to exist. Like there's room for all of us, you know what I mean? And it's not about right or wrong. It's just about connection, and people connect to different things. And I feel like, yeah, something about this is going to just elevate your world. So let's see, number 64. Okay, so it says, within the sacred temple of your body, your soul experiences the vast buffet of life made manifest. Your sensuality is a way for your soul to express appreciation, pleasure, and joy. Your sensuality is much like your creative energy. It needs to be expressed regularly. Otherwise, it can become muffled under a fuzz of too much thinking. You are being called to experience your sensual nature again. You are beautiful and vivid, striking and appealing. Allow your sensual appreciation for yourself and others to flow, and enjoy this unique experience of being a soul awakening in a body. It's all love. This oracle brings you guidance that your sensual nature needs to play, and it doesn't require an external lover to do so, though that is one way, of course. It can be expressed through massage, creating art, spending time in nature, swimming, dancing mindfully, feeling the sun or air on your skin, drinking aromatic tea, or taking a bath. Play with what feels good for you and enjoy the indulgence. It will bring you renewed energy, and apart from that, it's fun. And then the poem is, I dare not touch my heart's desire that sings a melody so still and lights within a yearning fire, a void that you alone can fill. I cannot say how my heart aches, nor speak the words as embers burn. Such blessings come to those who wait, a love that asks not in return. An open soul a risk must bear, to love without restrictions held, to reach another level rare, where two embraced as one are meld. To taste surrender's nectar sweet by piercing through the veil so thin, and bathe in joy as tears release. A promised dance begins again. I love that. I feel like it's perfect. It's just telling you to like open yourself up to your senses. You know, you're having a sensual awakening. So again, you could be trying different foods. You could be in different environments, smelling different smells and talking about different things, hearing different types of music, tasting different types of textures, even getting to know different types of people from all different walks of life. Like if you only connected with like lawyers because you're a lawyer, or, you know, parents because you're a parent, or teachers because you're a teacher. It's like now you're going to connect to all people, to all different walks of life. You're going to find like a commonality with everyone. And most importantly, you're going to find like your relationship and your connection with God. You're going to experience what that means for you, like by experiencing how other people relate to like their own experiences and stuff like that. And it's going to influence you to have your own relationship to God, to the divine. It's going to open you up, make you more receptive. And this is actually like the way for you. This is the key. This is how you allow like a deep transformation. It's going to come through your friends, through community, the people around you. There's so much to learn, so much to connect with. And it's really, really going to like serve as a gateway to your own connection to the divine and to God, and to what really resonates and rings true in your soul. And what, you know, you want to align to. It's going to make it very clear, very obvious what it is that you want to align to, what values you want to live up to. And it's going to put you on track to unfold a certain gift to share. And I think it has to do with communications. There's something you need to speak, to say, to express, to communicate. And it's definitely something different, something outside of the box, something you never thought that you would be into or doing or interested in. Like, it's definitely going to catch your attention, and it's just going to be your thing. It's going to be the thing that you have to give, that you have to offer. But of course, this isn't going to happen overnight. We do have the patience card here, so they are saying like, be patient and just stay open. This is a process that is just going to kind of like unfold in the way that it needs to. So just enjoy the ride. Be present through all of it. Because I feel like if you are able to really clear this karma that you are here to clear, like your whole world is going to change for the better. You're going to have a new perspective, especially when it comes to people, friends, community, relationships. When it comes to like being more tolerant of other people's perspectives, and just being more compassionate, being more understanding, being more cooperative. These are all big themes. Okay, group number 1. So that is the karma you're here to clear. I hope that this was helpful. I hope this has served you. Let me know if it resonated for you, if you have any questions. If you'd like to dive deeper into your specific situation, I do offer personal readings. I'll leave my email in the description box below so that you can contact me if you are interested. I would love to work with you. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I hope to see you around here again very soon. Take good care of yourself, and until next time, bye. Hey guys, and welcome to your reading. If you chose group number 2, or this little keychain feather right here, you are at the right place. Today we are doing a reading on what karma are you here to clear. The first group was very interesting. I'm loving this topic and the way that the messages are coming out. So let's take, no. Those fell out before I set my intention. So let's take a look at what is coming up for you, group number 2. What karma are you here to clear? It fell again. Okay, so let's see. I have a Neptune. Let's pull one more for group number 2. What karma are you here to clear? We got 2 more. Ooh, first house, which is Aries, and Mars, which Mars rules Aries. Okay, very, very, very interesting. So already very interesting. Let me pull from my other oracle deck. Oh, emotional healing. I'll get one more from here. Okay. Yeah, no. I kind of felt that's so funny because I kind of felt like, oh, I'm happy with just one. But because in my last reading for group number 1, they had 2 of these oracle cards, I was like, let me just pull one more. But I didn't feel it. Like, I'm like, no, I think that's it. Like, I think that's the only one that wants to be out here. But I just kept shuffling and nothing was coming out. They're like, that's it. Keep it moving, you know? Okay, so let me get some tarot. Just to have all the cards out here. Okay. This is a little messy. I apologize. Okay, so what karma are you here to clear? So first of all, right off the bat, you need to get to know yourself. I feel like you have kind of like a distorted view or a distorted image of who you are and like what you stand for, what you believe. Like, I don't know, even your appearance, like maybe you're really heavily influenced by your environment or by your external reality, like what's trending, and I don't know, maybe you go with that, or maybe there was someone in your life that you were like really influenced by and you're starting to realize like, I kind of just adapted to this certain kind of wardrobe or this certain kind of way of, you know, like this identity, but maybe you never truly got to know like yourself and what you like for real and what is an accurate representation of who you are and your tastes, your likes, your dislikes, your opinions even. I feel like you don't even know yourself. It's almost like you don't know yourself clearly. And your karma, the karma you're here to clear is to get to know yourself, to be able to cut through this haze and to understand who you truly are without any other influence but your own. And to find out like, what is my style? What is my taste? What do I like? How do I want to, you know, look? You know, like what do I want to identify with? What are the things that I want to like fight for, that I want to stand up for, that I want to protect, that I want to defend? What are the things that I want to express? You know, like what drives me? What am I passionate about? What do I like? You know, it's like all of these things. And it could be in many, many different areas of life. Like what do I like in terms of fashion sense and identity and what do I identify with? But also like what do I like in terms of like relationships or in terms of friendships or in terms of work, you know, like everything. I feel like it's just, you need to get to know yourself and not view yourself from like someone else's perspective. This is, oh my gosh, you guys. I think this is talking about the male gaze. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay, so if you are a woman, I feel like you've internalized the male gaze. So the male gaze, it was a concept that was brought up because artists or men in Hollywood, you know, they would portray this image of a woman or of a female. They would paint this picture through the lens of a man. This is what was being perceived, like this is what was being inspected, was women from the perspective of a man, like how men experience women. So often, maybe it objectified the woman, turned her kind of into like a sex icon. It's basically like a depiction of how men see women, how they experience women. And then women themselves internalize this gaze, this image of themselves, versus like relating to themselves through their own perspective, like relating to themselves as a whole person with feelings and emotions and needs and wants and opinions and values. And so maybe that's why sometimes women feel like they have to kind of like rise up to some certain kind of standard. Like they start dressing in a way that they think men would like, even if they're not doing it consciously. Like that's the crazy part. It's even if it's subconscious, it's kind of like you're still kind of putting yourself out there in a way that you think is desirable, in a way that you think is what people want to see versus who you really are. So then we, women start then to objectify themselves almost, again, subconsciously. Like it's not a very conscious thing. Unfortunately, it's just part of this patriarchal world that we're in, that we're a part of. It's just kind of like a byproduct of that. But then, like, women don't even know how to relate to themselves truly, or they don't know like what they actually like or what they actually want. It's like they try to fit into this mold, and so things become very maybe superficial, or maybe like just about like your body and what you look like and how sexy you are, and like this image, this show that you're trying to kind of like lead with, because you think that this is the way, because you think that this is your role, because you think that this is like what people want, what people like, what you're good for. That you think this is what you're good for, like this is what you're here to do. But no, Spirit wants you to know, like, they want you to get to know yourself outside of this male gaze. Okay, so that's if you identify as a woman. I feel like this is how this could be relating for you. But if you are a man, if you identify with being a man, more masculine energy, then I feel like maybe you have this perspective of women that needs to lift. It's like you are relating to women in a way where maybe you are over-sexualizing them, where you are objectifying them, where you are disrespecting them and only looking at them like sexually and in a way that like you just want to consume them. You don't really consider them as whole people with feelings, with emotions, whole humans that have things that they're going through. It's like maybe you only look at women for what they can give you, how they can satisfy you, how they can please you. And you need to start getting real with yourself. Like you need to start getting serious about this outlook, because I feel like you could be really hurting a lot of women along the way, or this is something that you need to learn when it comes to relationships. Maybe like your connection with women is very superficial, it's very shallow. You think you love women, but it's not that you love them, it's just that you love their energy, you love their essence, you love what they bring. Maybe you love their softness, their curves, you love their laugh, their voice, you love, their body, what they can give you, that they can cook for you, that maybe they can clean for you, do your laundry, You love those things about women, those qualities, but you don't actually care about the person behind like what they can give you. You know what I mean? It's like, well, how about the person that exists inside that body, like that soul, that consciousness, that presence? Is that person happy? How does that person feel? Is that person okay? So yeah, it creates kind of like a disconnect. Like it creates relationships that are not like very deep or very genuine, very pure, very balanced. So it's just going to depend like on what side you're finding yourself on, whether like you're affected by the male gaze, where you've internalized this male gaze and now this is how you present to the world, and this is how you think you're supposed to present to the world, and because you think this is what people want to see, this is what people like, this is what gives you attention, this is what brings you attention, but you don't really know yourself. Like you don't know yourself outside of that gaze. It's time to get to know yourself, to see yourself truly. Like, is this what I like? Is this what I stand for? Is this my drive? Like what? Like, just really get to know yourself, because I feel like you don't know yourself outside of that gaze. And start considering your emotions, your feelings, your experience, because these things are valid. Just because they're not like what's celebrated, they're not what's acknowledged, you know what I mean? Like, I have no problem with people being expressive in their bodies and being comfortable in their skin and showing that, showing that side of themselves. But I just feel like it's a problem when people do it just because they know the feedback that they're going to get, because they know that this is what, is wanted. That saying, like, sex sells, where it's just like, well, like, this is what people want. This is what people want to see. This is what works. This is what gives me the response I want, when you are catering to that male gaze. And so then they kind of like stuff a part of themselves away. You know what I mean? It's kind of like they start neglecting like a certain part of themselves, or they just never even get to like meet that part of themselves. They never get acquainted with that part of themselves. And they're always just kind of trying to live up to this role because it's internalized. Like, now they are only relating to themselves in this way. They're not even relating to themselves as a full whole person, much less, the men. So you could be a man and still be like getting objectified and sexualized, and people only want you for something because you're strong in some way. It's not like a man against a woman thing or a woman against man thing. I hope you're able to like apply this energy however it fits, because this is the karma you're here to clear. So this is a big deal. It depends, like what you resonate more with like what side, masculine, feminine, with what the experience is going to be. Apply it how it needs to be applied. And it doesn't help anyone because they're not able to truly connect with people, because they're only able to see someone's like outer shell or like what they have to offer. Like, it's impulsive, it's not deep. Like, you're not seeing the truth of someone, of a person. You're not seeing that. You're seeing the illusion of them, the facade of them trying to like fit into some mold. And that's who you're connecting with. You're not connecting with the actual person. You know what I mean? So it's very hard for people, like for these people to read each other. Like, no one here knows anyone's intentions. Everything is very like impulsive, sexual, superficial. You're just going straight up off what you see from the surface, and this is not truth. This is an illusion. This is like what people are presenting, this facade. This is what I'm seeing here. So like, there's no true connection that can be made here. Like, there is just no true equal give and take here. It's not pure. And this is the karma you're here to clear. Like, this is why there's emotional healing that needs to happen in this space, is because like there's no true connection, not even to yourself. Like, you're not even connected to yourself. Everyone here, regardless of where you fall on the spectrum, you need to see yourself clearly. You need to connect with yourself better. You're not even seeing yourself clearly. So you are definitely not seeing other people clearly. You do not have a good read on people. You're only going off of what people show you, what's on the surface. And so no true connection can ever come from something like this, from this kind of setup. You know what I mean? This is not the proper foundation to facilitate strong, true, genuine, deep connections and relationships and love, true consideration, true love. Okay. Yeah. It's like love with yourself, love with the world, with the community, with people around you, and even in one-on-one relationships, friendships, work relationships, like all of it. There's like a part of you that you don't know, and this is why you're sad. This is why you feel a void. It's waiting to be filled by you, by yourself, your true self. It's like there's this part of you that you feel like you can never let out, that you could never express, because again, it's not fitting the mold. But this part wants to be heard. This part wants to come out. This part is a part of you, and it deserves to take up space. And it's like you're stuffing it down. So maybe this is really tough to hear, tough to listen to, but Spirit is saying like you need to know this about yourself, because they're saying like it's a shadow aspect that you have. It's a shadow quality, and they want you to heal. And they're saying you can heal, and then you can be yourself. And when you're able to be yourself, your whole self, and when people can hold space for that and love that and appreciate that and consider that, see that, acknowledge that, your whole self, all parts of yourself, not just your body and your sex and what you do, but when people are also able to see your experiences, your emotions, your inner world, when they care about that, when they want to support that part of you, nourish that part of you, encourage that part of you, get to know that part of you. That's what's going to feel so much better, so much more wholesome. And that's what's really going to facilitate connection, real, true connection. But you have to do it too, First, you have to learn how to do it. You have to let this part be seen. You have to support this part of yourself, not neglect this part. I feel like you're neglecting this part of yourself, and they don't want you to do that anymore. Because it's like you're holding yourself back in some way. And they just want you to be free. They want you to feel liberated. And they want you to be able to feel like yourself. And they want you to be able to find your people. They want you to heal. Like, there's a lot of emotional trauma that exists here that is like untouched. It's like you're not looking at it. You're stuffing it down. You're neglecting it. And it is influencing you to feel helpless in some way, to feel stuck, trapped, to feel like you have to hide a part of yourself. But Spirit wants you to let that part come out. Don't hide that part anymore. Do the emotional healing that's required. Really address this head on, because then you're going to get to know your true self. You're going to get to know who you truly are. You don't even know what your needs are and how to support yourself. How there are all different kinds of seeds, there's different kinds of flowers and different kinds of vegetables and fruits and herbs, there's all different kinds of seeds. It's you need to know what seed are you, so that you can know what soil do you need and how much sun and how much water, so that you can know how to nourish yourself, how to take care of yourself. What do you need to thrive? You need to know these things, and you're going to discover it. You're going to know what you need, and you're going to create those circumstances to give yourself the best chance to grow, and to flourish. But there is this hurdle you have to get through before you can get to that place. And where your life is really going to begin, your life is really going to start. When you're able to see beyond that male gaze, so that you can get a better read on people, get a better read on yourself, get to know yourself better. You can do the emotional healing that's needed, and you can invite in better relationships, better connections, true love into your life. And that starts with knowing how to love and support and nourish yourself, and getting to know yourself, the true you, and letting that person come out, letting that person shine, and not just stick to whatever you were taught or was ingrained. You're dealing in reality. You're dealing in truth. There's more balance here, because now you have this higher perspective, Okay, so let's get an oracle. Oh gosh. We gotta try that again. Too many fell out. Let's pull an oracle card from the Journey of Love deck to get further messages about what karma you're here to clear. Oh, we got 2 of them. So we got number 2, within nothing there is everything, and then number 55, which is acceptance. So let me see. Let's get through these quickly. Okay, number 2. Within nothing there is everything. From a point of stillness, a moment, a complete universe is opening up to you, endlessly expanding. Your every thought and intention sends ripples of consciousness through the universe. What a creative being you are. You are sending consciousness into motion, bringing your creation into being with every inner desire, with every whispered wish. The universe receives your yearning and aspirations with open arms, returning them to you as a manifestation in your life. What is really in your heart? Open your arms. Speak your truth aloud to the loving universe and receive it as your destiny manifesting now. This oracle brings a message to you. Something that you want is on its way to you. It may seem to be coming out of nowhere, no sign on the horizon to give you hope, yet it is coming to you anyway. It is spiritual law that you cannot be denied the manifestation of your heart's desire. Trust and remain open to the tide of universal love rushing toward you, swelling within you now. And the poem says, the wind moves gently. Through trees, quiet water flows. Life's song calls softly. So I'm called to tell you that sounds so great. That card, they're saying something that you want is coming. That sounds so great, but I feel like at first it's not going to feel good. Like it's like something that you want is coming, but it's kind of going to sting, it's going to hurt, having to look at the truth of this. And it is a gift, but maybe it won't be perceived as a gift right away, like immediately, but it is a gift. And it's like opening you up to something. It's like nudging you towards a certain path. That's why it's saying like trust and remain open. What you want is going to come. So let's say like what you want is true love, like a true love, the love of your life, someone that you really can align with and connect with on a deep level. Then that's coming to you, that the doors are opening for that to be a real possibility, a real solid possibility. But before you can get there, like you're going to have to do the work, like do the work that needs to be done for you to be ready for that when it shows up into your life. You know what I mean? For you to be open. So yeah, I just felt like I needed to say that. Maybe it's not going to be super easy, but it is something that you want. It is granting a wish. But maybe you'll see that better like in retrospect. Okay, so let's see, number 55. Acceptance. It says, you have offered yourself, asked to be of service to the greater good, created something that you want to contribute towards a healing of our world, and your offer has been greatly accepted by the divine. Know this and be at peace. This oracle brings you a message. You are completely received, accepted by the divine, just as you are. There is nothing to change, just you to be. You have made an offering of a prayer, a sacrifice of an attachment, and a giving of a desire to be of service, to make a contribution to the world, and your offer is joyfully being transformed into the seeds of how this can best be. Your next step is about to begin. And the poem says, shall we find some sunshine amongst the cloudy days, a gentle touch that softly warms and leads us on our way, past stately oaks and candles glow, and places we've never been, a friend to share the memories before it's home again. Wow, okay, so these are really good oracle cards. They're like very positive. They're saying yes. Like it's just a big astounding yes. Or astounding. Yeah, it's just like yes, like something is coming, doors are opening, we're hearing your prayers, we're hearing your call, and it will be so, and it's going to happen in the best way for you. Yeah, Spirit is definitely here. They're working with you. They're opening the door for you. You're ready for this, okay? If you've prayed to make a certain situation better, or you prayed like, I just want to be of service, or I just want to contribute and make a good contribution to the whole, to the all. Well, this is how they're saying, like, this is the starting point. This is what you have to address. This is what you have to kind of like tackle, to be a positive influence, to contribute in a meaningful way. And most importantly, to do the emotional healing that you need to do to get to know yourself, to truly, truly get to know yourself and support yourself and know what your needs are, and holding boundaries, like having boundaries and standing up for yourself, and not kind of getting swept up in other people's like fantasies or other people's perception of you, or what makes other people happy, what other people want from you, but you truly connecting with yourself and knowing yourself and supporting yourself and encouraging that person to come up, to love yourself as a whole, not just as others want to perceive you, because that's not love. I feel, like it's not love. You think it's love, it's not. When someone just like is attracted to you or has lust towards you, that's not love. Someone giving you attention and being lustful and attracted to you, that's not love. okay? And I think you're finally like learning that, and you're healing, and you're going to need to offer yourself love first and foremost, so that you can recognize love, true love, when someone's offering it to you. And maybe you haven't recognized that. Maybe you haven't been able to, and maybe you haven't had the faculties to like really make those connections with yourself or with others. And this is where this emotional healing needs to come. It's like when you start really realizing these things and recognizing these things, like, wow, I've never been in love, or I don't know what love is, or no one has ever showed me genuine love. No one has ever considered me as a full, whole person, or wow, I've never considered someone as a whole, full person. Only like what I can get from them and how I can benefit from that person, without really like considering that person, not just looking at them from the perspective and the lens of like, ooh, what can that person give me? How can I consume that person? How can I benefit from that person? How can I get what I want from that person? Without really having like a true, deep, meaningful, genuine relationship and connection. Okay, so this is doing so much good in so many different aspects, all of the aspects that I just explained, all of the ways you're making the world a better place, but you're also like healing internally and getting to know yourself in the process, the true you. You're going to get a better read on people. You're going to know when someone's offering you love, care, consideration, and when they're not. It's just going to become very obvious to you. And obviously all of this is going to make you so good in relationships. You're going to know like how to be in relationship, how to have like long-term steady relationships that really stand the test of time and that are really like reliable. You're going to learn how to be that, and you're going to invite that in. You know what I mean? You're going to align to that. If you're on that vibration, then like someone that's also there, you guys can meet there, you know, and then that's how a strong relationship forms. So yeah, this was your message. Beautiful, beautiful message. I'm so happy I was able to give it to you. I truly hope that it served you. I hope that you benefited from it in some way. I'd love to hear your feedback. Let me know how it resonated. If you'd like to dive deeper into your specific situation, I will leave my email in the description box below, and you can contact me if you're interested. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Take good care of yourselves, and until next time, bye. Hey guys, and welcome to your reading if you chose group number 3, or this owl feather right here. We are doing What Karma Are You Here to Clear? We are going to be using astrology cards, oracle cards, as well as tarot to get the messages for today. So let's go ahead and get into it right away. I'm first going to pull from my astrology deck. What karma are you here to clear? Saturn. Saturn is like the planet of karma. So let's see. Ooh, Libra. Ooh, but wait a minute. Saturn exalts in Libra. So this is actually beautiful. This reading might be connected to pile number 2, because I think pile number 2 also had a focus on like personal relationships and stuff. And already I'm seeing that this one does too. My mind was about to say like, oh gosh, you have tons of karma as it pertains to like your relationships. Oh my God. And we got the 7th house. That's so funny. Okay. Let's get some from this oracle deck, my gods and goddesses deck. And these 2 cards came out. So what karma are you here to clear? So clearly, like I was saying, it has to do with your relationships, your personal relationships, one-on-one relationships. You could experience the most growth through relationships, which we all do. The way that we learn best about ourselves, the way that we're reflected back information about ourselves, is through relationships. Relationships can teach us the most important lessons, and that's for everyone, but especially for you guys that chose this one, because this is what's coming out for you. And now that I'm thinking about it, there was a heavy Libra energy for all three of these piles, which again makes sense because, like I just said, relationships is how we can best learn our lessons. So you're definitely going to learn some of your biggest lessons through relationships, through partnerships. Maybe you have to experience really limiting, difficult relationships in your life, but it's to alchemize you. Those difficult relationships that you experience, they're not in vain. It's not for no reason. It's definitely serving a purpose. It's for you to learn something. So we're going to pull tarot to pinpoint exactly what it is that you're here to clear, to learn. But just from these cards out here, the message that I'm getting is that maybe you put too much effort into relationships. Like maybe you're the one always trying to be like the just one, the fair one. You want to bring things to the table. You want to have things to offer. You want to prove yourself maybe. It's possible that you've had to bend over backwards for love maybe. Maybe you felt like you needed to kind of outdo yourself and overexert yourself to receive love in relationships, to show, that you are worthy, to try to keep people around, to try to keep people interested, whether it's subconsciously or consciously. I feel like you've worked really hard in relationships and it creates an imbalance. So this can manifest in many different ways, but one of the ways it could manifest in is like, for example, you're an enabler or something, or you like to rescue people, like you like to be there for people and be the hero and like save the day. And again, this involves you having to overexert yourself, bend over backwards, maybe give a little more than what you had to give, push past your limits. And that could be because maybe you find your worth through how well you can be there for others. And some of us are taught this, like to be people pleasers or to be, I don't want to say doormats because I feel like that's such a strong word, but it's kind of, like that person that doesn't want to rock the boat. They're like social smoothers and they're always like considering everyone but themselves, always putting everyone above themselves. And this is a taught trait, I think. I mean, some of us, of course, can have it more prevalently than others, just naturally, I guess, depending on like our personalities and everything. But I think for the most part, this is kind of like a learned trait where maybe in childhood, like your needs were never asked about or like considered or prioritized. It was always like, you just have to do what's best for other people. You have to put others first, like, put the family first, or put your parents first, or something like that, where like your needs were never really talked about or considered, or like I said, prioritized. And so then we learn to kind of put other people before us because, we kind of are used to that self-neglect. So we're used to putting other people ahead of ourselves, and we're used to considering them and focusing on them and trying to, meet their needs and make sure that they're taken care of because, like, in a way, you were never really taught to do that for yourself, to consider yourself. Like, it was never something that was encouraged. But this is actually what's healthy, you know what I mean? So something about the karma you're here to clear is like you need to find a balance in relationships in what's healthy and what isn't. And it's actually healthy for you to be strong within yourself, to prioritize yourself, to consider yourself and your feelings and your needs, in a relationship. And are those things being met? And not only focusing on the other and their happiness and if their needs are being met. It kind of needs to be a shared thing, like an equal thing, a balanced thing, an equal give and take, right? And I feel like this is also talking about codependency because sometimes when we do this, when we like pour ourselves into our relationship, into our significant partners, our significant others, it's almost like, well, I pour into you, and then you kind of have like that little expectation on the back of your mind, whether again it's subconsciously or consciously, where it's like, well, I'm pouring into you, so I hope that someone is going to love me enough to pour back into me, like I live for you, you're my world, I make you my world revolves around you, so I'm hoping someone does the same for me. And then that's how we can find a good give and take. But that's actually very codependent because we're not here to fill other people up. We're here to add to their life and add to their happiness and to exalt them 100%. But we're not here to kind of like fill any voids for someone else. Like where someone else lacks, you make the difference and vice versa. Like we're here to become whole within ourselves. And when two people that are whole can come together, I feel like that's the best relationships we can experience. These are the best kind of relationships we can have because it's like everybody is coming from a strong stance, like from a strong place. And no one is here like trying to make up the difference or trying to fill up any voids for somebody else where someone is weak. Like you come in and then, you know, they don't have to worry about it because like you're strong in this area. But that's codependent. And it's also enabling because then you're never like giving that person the space or the opportunity to kind of like rise up to the occasion and to learn for themselves how to like fill that need. You know what I mean? How to become whole and complete within themselves without your help or vice versa. So I'm definitely seeing something along these lines. Okay, so let's pull tarot. So we can keep going with the message. I'm getting so many messages, but I do want to pull tarot before I like keep talking for half an hour. So let's just see. My little owl feather. These cards right now, oh my goodness. Powerful stuff, but they're beautiful. This is beautiful karma to be clearing, you know? I feel like the fact that this is the karma you're here to clear, it shows like you're elevated, like you're in a really, in a good place here, karmically speaking. Definitely, I'm definitely seeing like there's an elevation to you. Maybe you guys are very spiritual or, just very moral. I feel like you guys have very high morals, high standards. You're just genuinely very good people. And I love this because I used to think like everyone was naturally good. And I really do still think that. Like I think that there is an innocence to everyone and I think that everyone is good. You know, like I can see the inner child in everyone. And so like that part of people, like that's the part of them that's innocent, you know? But unfortunately, like most people, like the way that like what's driving them, what's moving them in life, their life force, unfortunately, like a lot of people are kind of very selfish and like very self-centered, or, you know, they're only looking out for themselves, or like they're just imbalanced, or there's like some kind of disconnection between like, I feel like it's a disconnection from their heart. And then it blocks them from being able to connect to others and to like have sympathy and empathy and just true, genuine consideration towards others. Like I'm seeing so much of that. I don't know why Spirit wants to highlight this for me like greatly at this time, like that there's a lot of people out here that don't really care a lot about other people. And there's a lot of people out here also that they're not trying their best. Like they're not doing their best to be like the highest version of themselves that they can be. It's just not where they're at. It's not, again, like their life force energy, what drives them, what pushes them, how they show up in this world. So when I see people like you guys that are genuinely like at this level, like where you are very moral and you are very fair and equal, I just like to acknowledge it. I just like to acknowledge it because I don't know. I feel like it's rare. Is it? I don't know if it's rare. You guys let me know. Is it rare? What's your experience with people? Like, do you think people are mostly like self-centered and only worried about their own, like fulfilling their own personal agendas and doing whatever they need to do to get there? Or do you think people are considerate and kind and fair and honest and just and, you know, have high morals and values? What's your experience? Because I can see here that you guys are good people with high standards for yourselves. Like there is an elevation here. And so, yeah, I just wanted to acknowledge it. Thank you, basically. Thank you for leading with this energy. We really need this in this world. But yes, okay. So basically the karma that you're here to clear is a karma to yourself. You owe karma to yourself. You have karmic debts that you owe to yourself. You need to choose you. You need to choose yourself. You need to get more comfortable and confident within yourself, love yourself, know that you are enough. Like you don't need external praise and acknowledgement. Of course, those things feel good, but you don't need it. Spirit wants you to recognize yourself, to acknowledge yourself, to be able to look in the mirror and see a real one. You know what I'm saying? And like give yourself a pep talk every morning. I do this. And yeah, I just basically like tell myself like how proud I am, like how far I've come, and I see you doing your best, showing up every single day, giving it your all. And I just give myself that encouragement and that support that I feel that like you were doing for other people. Maybe it was so easy for you to show up for other people and like encourage them and be their cheerleader and like support them and be there for them and, really be their rock, And again, like we do that because we are hoping that people will reciprocate that they'll like do that back for us. And so maybe sometimes people like they pour into their relationships really hoping that someone's going to pour back into them. And maybe at some point you thought that you doing that you showing up in that way towards your relationships guaranteed that other people were going to show up in that way for you. And maybe you had to learn the hard way, like that's not always the truth. I don't know. I just feel like subconsciously, like you were really trying to get people to love you. You just wanted people to love you. You just wanted people to see you, to acknowledge you, again, to pour into you, to support you, to nourish you, to exalt you, how you were doing them. And then when you realize that maybe no one was doing that for you, that just because you show up in relationships in that way doesn't necessarily guarantee that other people are going to show up in that way. And then you start feeling like, well, I'm kind of empty. Like I feel like my cup is empty. I'm over here giving, pouring. How about me? Do I matter? Do I exist? Does anyone care about me? Does anyone care to pour into me? And I feel like it was almost like what was driving you to be that way in relationships was because you wanted it back. You needed it back. And your karma that you're here to clear is you learning that you are the one that gives it to yourself. That sounded funny, but you get it. Like, it's not something that's met from the external. It doesn't come from the external. You need to choose yourself. You need to see yourself. You need to acknowledge yourself. You need to support yourself. You need to love yourself. You need to nourish yourself. The list goes on and on and on. You had to learn that you have to show up for you. You can't depend or hope that someone else is going to do it for you. You had to learn that you do that for you. You do that for yourself. You show up for yourself. All of that energy that you were giving to other people, you had to turn it around back onto yourself to nourish and to fill yourself up. And this is how you found that there's always enough to go around. There's always enough love. When you start connecting to yourself, to your heart, to your higher self, then it's easier for you to open up and connect to the divine, to something greater, to something bigger than us. And that is what fills the void. It's never going to come from some flesh and bone person outside of you. I feel like you were always looking, like through friendships or in your community and even in your one-on-one relationships, like you were always looking for people to kind of like see you, to pour into you, to love you. And maybe that just never really happened. Maybe you never really got what you needed from those spaces. Like this is a very social group. It's like you want to be a part of the conversation, and you love to talk and to learn and to share. But yet and still, like you always felt unfulfilled, or like your needs weren't really being met, or like it just wasn't doing it for you. Like your relationships they weren't doing it for you. And maybe the way that you showed up for other people was just never really reciprocated. And the lesson that you had to learn was that you needed to show up for yourself. You needed to be less focused on like pouring into your friends and like wanting to hang out with them and wanting to be there for them and always complimenting them and supporting them and being like a great friend and a great relationship partner. Like, I feel like when you have or had whatever the situation is, like when you have a partner, a significant other, you can really pour yourself into that relationship. Like you can really commit to it. Maybe it's long term for you, like you're able to really commit to a person and be stable with a person and build with a person. It's easy for you. It's really easy for you to build connections. I just feel like maybe other people have been unable to meet you there with the same energy that you give. And that's something you need to also start to see. There's an imbalance with the way you're showing up and with the way other people are showing up. So Spirit is saying that right now is a time to just like rest. Like don't go out there like pursuing friendships and pursuing relationships and like always being the one initiating and doing the most, You deserve relationships that are going to be reciprocal, that are going to nourish you as well, that are going to meet your needs as well. So I think Spirit is just asking you to focus on you, to focus on yourself, to focus on building yourself up, becoming self-sufficient, meaning like you don't need any external validation to feel whole, to feel complete. Spirit wants you to get confident within yourself. I feel like you're meant to have like a really beautiful union, like a really beautiful relationship, but it's like, it's not yet. It's showing me that it is off into the future and that right now you should just be focused on building yourself up and nourishing yourself and getting yourself to a place where you just know that you're the shit, like you just know, or you're just confident, and you know who you are, and you know what you bring to the table, and you don't need anybody to see you or to acknowledge you or to give you compliments. Like you already know that you are strong and that you are powerful within yourself and that you have so much to give, so much to offer. So I think Spirit really wants you to like continue to cultivate that energy so that like when your person shows up, you're in a really good place. And also like if you're afraid, because like maybe you're single and you're afraid like I'm never going to meet anyone, am I ever going to like find my person? And Spirit doesn't want you to have that lack mindset, like that lack mentality. They want you to know that whether or not you find someone, like it doesn't matter. They want you to feel at peace and feel okay with yourself, with your own energy. I feel like that J-Lo movie that she just did that got so much hate, oh my goodness. And let me just say, like the few videos that I watched, like of why people thought it was just terrible and horrible, I feel like they missed the entire point of the movie. Like everyone was just saying the same thing, like, oh, the movie is about, her love story with Ben Affleck and this and that. And like it really wasn't. Like that's not what that was about. I mean, of course it has some components of that, but mainly like the main message was about self-love. It was about, her realizing that she couldn't be alone, like she needed to be. And listen, I don't think she's the best messenger, I'll just say that much, but the movie was great. I think it was well done. It was so creative. It was different. And I really enjoyed it. And I don't know why people hate it so much. Maybe she's not the best messenger, but the message of the movie, in my opinion, was great. And I think it really reflects the cards here, which is why I'm talking about it, why I'm bringing it up in the first place. Because the whole point of it was that, she was recognizing, or like her friends around her were recognizing and were trying to tell her, like, hey, you keep jumping from relationship to relationship. Like every single time you break up, you just move on really quickly to the next guy. Like you're addicted to relationships. And it's because like she had this fear of like being alone. She kind of had that lack mindset, that lack mentality. And so she couldn't ever be alone. And like the whole point of the movie is recognizing that you don't have to be in any kind of a rush. Like recognizing that being alone and finding that love within, that love that you're always like externally trying to like find and look for. She's like, I love being in love. Like, I just want to be in love. Is that a problem? Like, why is it such a problem to want to be in love? But the problem was that she was looking for love outside of herself. She wasn't connecting with love inside of herself. She wasn't loving herself. And that's why that void never filled. That need was never met because that's what's missing. It needs to come from within. That's why they say happiness is an inside job. Like, no one's going to make you happy. And it's no one's responsibility to make you happy. You have to learn how to make you happy. It comes from inside of you. You know what I mean? You can't be dependent on external circumstances to make you happy. External circumstances don't matter. Only your state of being matters. That's what you have control over. And that's the message of the movie. And that's what I'm seeing here is like being able to connect to your own love, to your own heart, and to love yourself. And that's what makes you okay. Like, then you stop pursuing things or feeling like you're in a rush or like, am I ever going to find somebody? I'm going to end up alone forever. That's not even what's on your mind, because you're like, well, even if that's my path, even if I do end up alone forever, like, I'm good with that. I'm happy with myself. I'm happy being alone. I'm content. And when you're coming from that place, from that angle, then you're no longer, in lack mentality and like a lack mindset, because it's like you're at peace regardless if it comes or not, like you're good. So it's kind of giving yourself that time to be alone, to be with yourself, to cultivate that relationship with yourself, to love yourself so that you can really get yourself to that place, you know what I mean? And it's not just like something that you say because it sounds good, but it's something that it's like, it's true. This is how you feel. You are at peace, whether it comes or not. But I do have to say that it looks like you are going to have a really strong union. I do see that for you. A really healthy, stable, strong relationship. And I feel like this relationship is going to alchemically change you. This relationship, I feel like it's going to be an alchemical process. Like, you guys, it's alchemy. I keep hearing alchemy, and I know Taylor Swift has a song called The Alchemy, so I keep kind of hearing that too in the background. But I've been hearing that, like, alchemy, there's definitely alchemy here. So even if you had like bad relationships, like these bad relationships, they're going to alchemically change you, because it's like maybe you're going to be disappointed at first, like, wow, like you're going to see like where you went wrong, like how you approached it maybe was a little bit imbalanced, but then it's going to lead the way to make it balanced. And so you're going to show up differently now. And this is a process, and it is going to take some time. So maybe you are going to have to be alone for some time. Or maybe like, you'll find your person and you guys will go through this process together. I feel like it's going to be a different experience for all of you, but for the most part, I am seeing like there is a period of solitude here. Like, there is a period of being by yourself and being totally cool with that, being fine with that, being content with that, because it's like you're filling yourself up, knowing that you can do that, knowing that you don't need anything from the external to feel good about yourself, to feel loved. You can feel loved within yourself. You can provide that to yourself. And actually, when you're able to provide that for yourself, it's a really strong place to be. It opens the door for you to be aligned to, that beautiful love, when you're not like desperate for it, you know what I mean? And like really looking for it and really craving it and really wanting it. It's like you're just free. You're not craving anything. You're not wanting anything, because you're already whole and full and content within yourself. So it's like you're surrendered. You're soft. You soften. You're not tense and like get yourself into some situation out of desperation or something. Instead, when you're surrendered, you won't settle for anything less than what you deserve. You'll be patient and like if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But it's like you're open. Like if it does happen, if there is that person out there that can meet you where you are and can be reciprocal with you, it's like you're surrendered to let that in, to align to it, versus like be resistant to it, you know what I mean? Like resist it, be pushing it away, or make bad decisions out of desperation. And it's only when you're surrendered and when you're like chilling that it can really align, you know what I mean? It'll take the time it needs to take, and you're fine with that. Because again, it's kind of like you're not really expecting a specific outcome. You're just like, okay. You're okay with whatever is meant for you. You know that whether you have that grand love or not, you're still going to be happy. You're still going to be full and whole and complete. And you're still going to live the life of your dreams and experience magic, whether or not you're in relationship. Like, that doesn't determine the quality of your life. When you are truly connected to yourself, to your heart, which opens up the gates to, be connected to the divine, to source. You're no longer dependent on like, well, I need a partner to be happy. Like, no. Of course, that'll enhance your life, but it's not completing you in any way. You already have everything you need, even without that. So that's why you're kind of like in that surrendered state and just going with the flow and living life, and you won't settle for anything less than. And then when you do align with someone, it's like you'll just know. And it'll be just beautiful. And again, I do have to say, I see marriage. Like, I do see marriage here for you guys. I do see like a really strong partnership, a really strong union. I do see that, but I feel like it's the rainbow after the storm. Like, there is going to be some time of like growth and recalibration and feeling comfortable within yourself and connecting with yourself. Again, providing that love for yourself, not betraying yourself, like not leaving yourself for last, not considering yourself, neglecting yourself. Spirit doesn't want you to betray yourself, and you won't need to. You won't need to betray yourself. Maybe you felt like, oh, well, I have to be selfless in relationships. That's what you were taught. No. You are worthy to be considered, to be loved, for things to be equal, balanced. Okay? You need to be considered. Your needs need to be met too. And you shouldn't be enabling, and no one should be enabling you. No codependency here. We know this is not the way. This isn't the answer. You're figuring that out. You're figuring out like what healthy relationship looks like, what healthy love looks like. And I feel like this is karma that you owe to yourself. This is beautiful. I feel like I could just keep going and talking, and like we can go forever. I can talk about this forever, but I am going to cut it here. Actually, I have one more oracle card to pull for you guys, and then we'll cut it. I feel like there's just so much to say here, but then we'll be veering off topic. This is like the crux of the message. Okay, so let's see, Spirit. One last piece of advice for what karma are they here to clear? God speaks. Love that. Number 33. So the number 33 could be significant, or the number 6. I think we've gotten this card before. Let's see what the book says. Okay, so it says, the divine is speaking to you directly. Underneath the silence, there is the endless music of love pulsating throughout the universe. Within that sacred sound, there is guidance. It may or may not have words. It might be a feeling in your heart that you can only access when you are still, relaxed, dancing, in a yoga practice, or even half asleep. It assures you that behind any struggle or challenge, there is only ever the divine seeking you out, calling you to surrender some fear or doubt or other, so that you can move closer. Trust in the sounds of love beyond anything else, for in truth, no matter what may appear to be, there is nothing else. This oracle brings you guidance. You are being loved into becoming. Be open to being shown the divine genius and all that is happening. If you feel you are being nudged, know that you are being nudged by the divine. If you feel that you are being held back, know that you are being held back by the divine. All is happening perfectly for you, and all will unfold in divine timing. The divine is speaking to you. When you are captivated by the beauty of nature, or in an illogical sense that everything is okay, listen. That's the divine talking to you, reassuring you that all is unfolding according to spiritual law in perfect cooperation with your own destiny. And the poem says, when the first sound was born, the air was filled with fantasy. Like the flower's sweet perfume, alive in the moment, there was nothing else, only the energy coursing through my body and the tears on my cheeks. I was carried away on the strings, each note striking a chord within and answering with the emotions of my soul. How priceless the surprise, how powerful the memory to be with the violin when it sings. I love that. That's cute. But okay, you guys, that was your message. I truly hope this message has served you. Thank you so much for being here with me today. It was a pleasure reading your cards for you. If you would like to dive deeper into your specific situation and get a reading tailored specifically for you, I would be more than happy to do that for you. My email is in the description box below. You can go ahead and email me if you are interested. I look forward to hearing from you guys. Also, I love feedback, so let me know how this message resonated for you. I would love to know. Take good care of yourselves, and I hope to see you around here again very soon. Until next time, bye.